Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL Jedi Show. This is Gameweek 3 preview. My name is Hafiz, and first, I would like to welcome Azmin to the stream. How's your thing, brother?
Okay. I think we're in a decent position. Just need to be more stable and see if I can get rid of some of the deadwood.
Right, plenty stuff for us to discuss in this spot. And for sure, I would like to also welcome Hafiz to the stream. How's things, brother?
Yeah, so far so good. Just can't wait for the Gameweek 3 to start.
All right, interesting. Just to share with everyone, Gameweek 3 is a lot happening. Okay, that's happened in Gameweek 2. We'll touch on all the players, and definitely we will also touch because a lot of FPL managers did triple captain Haaland last week, and can I say it really paid off against the promoter side. It's pitched down. And as you can see, I think straight we jump to that, everyone. More than 477,000 managers. I think quite a lot will put faith on Erling Haaland despite early of the season. And we all know about triple captain cheat. Most of the time we play in the double game week. But certainly this season, okay, a lot, even season managers mentioned that we'll have lesser double game week because they will less or maybe not even any replay matches for League Cup, the Carabao Cup and also FA Cup. So that's where one of the reason that managers jump in to decide activating their triple captain cheat. I can recall some of the managers that I saw was FPL General did triple captain and got that 17 points. I think in total, if you triple captain, you got that 51 points in total. So most triple captain players of all time, Erling Haaland did deliver in this particular game week 2, 17 points. I think he is the most triple captain in a single week, and in a double game week, or in all where the double game was single week. Haaland was triple captain fifth, okay, in this list, okay. So I think let's get some reaction. I go to Hafiz first, okay. Erling Haaland scored 17 points. I think every one of us got Haaland in the team, so at least that check in terms of we are not suffering in terms of that Haaland 17 points. But how about triple captaining? Are we questioning whether we did wrong? Any mistake of not captaining Haaland? What do you think, Hafiz?
Okay. Yeah, I think one of the matchup in a single game week for any team. I think Game week 2 Manchester City versus Ipswich is one of the most favorable time to triple captain Haaland, especially. But in the end, the result goes in favor of those who are triple captaining Haaland. But I think it was overall decent. But at the same time, I don't really quite regret it of not triple captaining. I think there are a lot of other opportunities later on throughout the season. But yeah, I think in terms of overall, kudos to those all of the 477,000 managers who did triple captain Haaland on game week 2.
All right, good stuff. Azmin, I'll go to you. I don't know. I first mentioned about normally we captain in double game week. So if let's say you one of these 470,000 major who triple captain, do you think it is they got lucky and get that hat trick, or they are spot on to got these 17 points of hat trick goal from Erling Haaland?
Well, I mean, you could argue that it's a gamble, but it's a calculated one. So it's only week 2, and the fact that there may be less double games than previously unless something weird happens, like strikes and so on. But you're playing Haaland at home against a promoted side. So those two things, Haaland, promoted side. What I felt was going against him was the fact that it's only week 2. So we're still not sure if are Ipswich really that weak, because against Liverpool the first half they managed to hold off Liverpool for the first half before they lost, and Haaland and City themselves were not at full strength. They're missing Rodri, they're missing Foden. So we weren't sure whether or not we'll likely see Haaland, and for a moment there it looked like that may be the case, but I got to give credit to all the managers who did, because 17 points for triple captaincy, I would have taken that and run off. Yeah, so really happy, because I think in normally we're looking at at least we want to at least see at least 2 goals from someone we triple captain, if not more. So I think 17 because of the hat trick, I think that's pretty good. Whether or not there may be better ones, well, we can't really say right now, but because we'll only find out much later when the triple captaincy option becomes a popular option again. Yeah, but for now, I think those who did use the chip, they have every right to feel satisfied, because for me it's a good call.
Yeah, I think so. If you tell me that I'm going to get the 70 points activated my triple captaincy, I think I'll definitely take it. You can see from the stats, from this top 5 so-called most triple captain, Haaland, inside of these 3, from of the 5 times, Haaland scored 10 points. Even 10, I think we could generally say that we are satisfied if we got 10 points in the triple captainship. But if you get that 17 or even, I think 17, if you got a brace, that Haaland got a brace, say he got like 13 points, I think you're still satisfied with triple captain. Maybe you'll still agree whether 13 is, maybe there is more potential you got. But I think 17 is, you should be satisfied. So that's why I feel if you're one of these 470,000 managers, I salute you, and you should be satisfied with that points. That all I can say. What do you think about Hafiz in terms of that getting 70 points?
17 points is really good, a good scoring in a single game week. I think in the past season we are looking at the players like Harry Kane, Aguero, all those potentially get a hat trick in a single game. So yeah, Haaland is the most popular one to get a hat trick in a single game. So yeah, triple captaining him even for not in a double game week, getting a 17 points, still a great excellent points.
All right, I think we can conclude it's a good week for the triple captainers. Then let's go to our teams. How did we perform? Because we did not triple captain. I think if they say you to triple captain, maybe you got at 90, 80 points easily. So how about our team? Even I got some inside our mini league scoring 100 points easily if you're triple captaining Haaland. That all I can say. All right, let's go to our team first. We go to Azmin team because he scored the highest this week, 79 points. If I may say, the average point was close to 60 plus. And your rank jumped from 1.2 to 1 million. Still a green arrow. That's the most important thing. So can you just talk through your teammate? You're on mute, mate.
So obviously the disappointment is Henderson again with only one point this time. But when I'm looking back at that, I'm not too fussed, and I'm not too worried about the keeper. Now, having said that, I have to say I didn't expect Henderson, once the season starts, to start losing his players, his centre back. One centre back's left, and the other one looks like he might be going. So I don't know. it's causing a bit of disruption. I don't think the manager's happy with that either. That the owners are looking to just get profit off some performing players. But this is the reality for this these mid-table clubs. They perform really well. They have a streak where they perform well, and then all the other teams are out to get their players, and it's hard for these clubs not to sell if they can sell it at a good price. Yeah. So right now with Henderson, you're gonna have to grin and bear it. I am. TAA again, another clean sheet for Liverpool, but I think he's due. I'm wondering whether a set piece goal, something is along the way, and if you saw some of the stories that he wasn't happy about being substituted early. He had something going on with Slot, which for me is a bit childish because he is the vice captain. I don't think he should be, having that sort of behavior. But it makes me wonder: is he then going to come out with a blockbuster just to get angry, in the next game and score a crazy goal? So we'll see. So yeah, if you look at my defense, TA, Gabriel, Paro all returned, so I'm glad. I'm happy with that. Murphy, very disappointing, 1 point, and it looks like he was really bad from the highlights. I didn't see the whole match, but he was totally ineffective, and he's looking like a big risk now as to whether or not he gets to stay in that starting lineup. Smith Rowe returned, so great, yeah, as expected. The thing with Smith Rowe, of course, his minutes are always going to be less. 70 minutes he gets subbed out, both games, 60 plus minutes he got subbed out. So he has limited time, but that he managed to make it work. So Nkunku, I don't know I can't remember if everyone's in the same boat. Yeah, so I did tweet at one point during the midweek, I'd be very worried if I saw him in the starting lineup midweek. He was on the starting lineup midweek, but he still got subbed off like 58 minutes or something, so which gave me some hope. But yeah, it didn't happen. He ended up being subbed. So all eyes on whether he disappears in midweek or starts lineup. We'll find out. Salah 10 points. Yeah, can't be too upset with that. Hopefully it was more, but yeah, I'll take it. Haaland, of course, the double captain. But those triple captain, well done. Isaac was really disappointing, and I think we all have Isaac, so it's something that we need to take a look at. Newcastle against Bournemouth, but again, I think I mentioned this last week. I think it does look like we are underestimating Bournemouth a bit, so we probably need to reassess that one. Muniz was disappointing. I think he had the most shots in the game, but unfortunately he didn't score, and some spectacular attempts at overhead kicks and so on. So the only disappointment really is the fact that I have Robinson on my bench. So it was hard trying to figure out who to bench, and I was so confident of Gabriel returning against Villa that I didn't consider benching Gabriel at all. So it was really between Nkunku and Robinson, and I got it wrong. Yeah. So, and on hindsight, when I look at it back, I kind of failed my own play safe mantra, because if I went for the play safe option, I would have gone Robinson, simply because Nkunku did start midweek. So it was, even though he only played 58 minutes, that risk was there. Whereas Robinson was a confirmed starter. So that's my bad. But fortunately, got 79 points is enough to get me a decent, a bit of a increase in rank. So against the triple captaincies, I think I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep, today's stuff. I think 17 points is a good point. I just checked again. The average point for this week is 69. So if you scored more than 69, yep. So because I think a lot of major clipping in it, and 79 is definitely excellent. Nothing is wrong from my point of view when you play Nkunku. I think we expect Nkunku to start, but it doesn't. Now it's a worry. Later we touch about Nkunku. Robinson, yeah, I think we discussed before during last week whether the Robinson over Poro maybe, but I think we definitely want to play the premier defender. So it is a miss for your team, but I don't think it's a big one, because pretty much you need to play this team. The Smith Rowe, I think I think that could be an indication whether we should put more attention. You got that 10 points, which is excellent. And Salah for sure, like everyone. But we discuss on the Isaac Muniz blank later when we talk about our team. Let's go to my team. Slightly lower than you. 77, 1.7 to 1.5. Slight green arrow, but the green arrow makes a difference. I think the 2 points difference is not that big because I think my team also kind of similar like Azmin. I have Henderson is a frustrating one. Poro, Gabriel, but not TE. I got Guardiola, which scored first goal, so that's a bit sickening for me when Man City did not keep the clean sheet, and Guardiola is not someone that really attacking that side anymore. When I saw the match, I saw that could be a potential transfer, but we shall see. Jota, we had the assist. Yeah, good attack return, but inside my hand, I want more, right? So I guess that's fantasy is still decent because back-to-back attack return from Jota, 7.5 million, what we expect, right? So then Gordon with that second half goal, if not Newcastle frustrating against Bournemouth, 2 Gordon involved, got that 10 points. I believe it 3 bonus points, if I'm right. So he still hang on into my team. I suppose if he blank this game week 2, maybe there will be more constriction to take him out, but he's still there. 7.5 million. Saka at least return and assist. So back-to-back attack and return, but you cannot compare with Salah, who actually scored and get 10 points, right? But that is a different price point. But Saka at least returned that assist. Eze is definitely a frustrating one. We expect him to get anything from this game, but they lost at home against West Ham 2-0. So people are now thinking about maybe it's time for Eze to transfer out. We touch on that later. Isaac Muniz, we got same man. Is concerned in terms of Muniz, but if you see later on the stats, Muniz is still up there. And then triple captain, captaining Haaland, 34 points. I think if you don't have Haaland and you captain Salah, who got that 10 points, so the difference will be 7 points if I'm right. So plus minus, I think still not bad depending on who you have. If you have Salah team, if you have Son, a combination with Salah and up front, I think you should score well also this week. So I think pretty much on that. Just want to point out on my bench, Johnson get an assist against Man City. So maybe there's a potential Johnson that can actually play some odd games from my bench. 5-7 points, he scored a goal against Fulham, but I guess he already moved to somewhere, right, man? So
he wants to move, but don't know if he's moving.
He's not moving yet. Okay, all right. So he's on the move, but 7 points still. Great stuff. Already increased to 4.1 million, if I'm right, in terms of price. It's only 2 points. So I think still 77 is still good, and but some things that maybe I need to address, but we shall see in terms of our plan, my team plan.
Yeah, so I think the problem with Faiz is that he's playing at left back when he wants, which is not his favorite position. It's supposed to be, I think, it's right back. So, and because he's frustrated at the lack of reinforcements, and that's why one of the reasons why he wants to leave. But yeah, I mean, we've almost ended up with the same points, different structure. I think that Diogo Jota, Gordon, Saka, and for me it was Salah and Smith Rowe that made up for it. Yeah. I guess one key difference is that you have Guardiola there. Yeah. So I spent a bit more on TAA. Yeah, but so it's still good. Still enough of a rank rise. As you say, Muniz, I'm not worried. And the thing is, they have the fixtures coming through. So I think nothing to worry about that. I guess because probably your biggest underperformer is Eze. And now Eze are coming up against your team. Yeah, so that's where I think there are quite a few people who have started dumping Eze already, but we don't know that's the right move. That's something we'll discuss later on. But anyway, yeah, You were never gonna get that Faiz. It was almost impossible for Faiz was gonna get you points
Yeah.
unless someone disappeared. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But the only problem is now what you're gonna do with him.
Right. Better be touch on that. Let's go to our first team. Slightly lower than us, 68 points from 185k to 924k. But no worries, and hope we don't like curse you for coming to the stream. Okay, you did mention about showcasing your team. Okay, but still 924k, you're above than us, both of us. But it's really a close one. 151. If I'm right, Azmi is 150, and then
50.
slightly lower,
Yeah, only by
145.
1 point.
So it's really tight in terms of rank. I can see 5 points, 10 points, you can easily make up ground. And I can see some people who actually triple captaining Haaland jump from 3 million plus up to 500k rank. So you can improve in any way. I can. So you just talk through your team, Afos.
Yeah, I think in terms of overall, more or less the same as Azmin's and yours. Henderson is a disappointing disappointing one for Crystal Palace. We thought that he's going to get a lot of save, but turns out Palace poorly in terms of defense starting the season. As for defenders, TAA got that clean sheet. Howard also conceded, but in terms of selection, I was kind of contemplating in the dilemma between Howard and Hall, but ended up I did play Howard, but I did not consider at all to play Five, so I don't feel that much of regret in terms of the selection. Vadil considered early. Looking at the what called the notification during the match, the moment that I saw City considered early, I know for damn sure that City gonna trash them for sure. So at that point, I think all those triple captaining Haaland for sure will get all those high reward points. But yeah, for midfielders, Salah and Jota got the returns. Eze is a disappointing one because all of his shots did not get any returns, zero conversion, even for game week 1. For this kind of underlying stats, we are kind of hoping that next game he gonna get explosive, but we know that next game is against Chelsea, but so I hardly think that he gonna get that huge points. He might get a goal, but I don't know, maybe just one goal. But Chelsea
One goal,
gonna
I'll take.
win.
If got one goal, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it as well. Rogers also kind of disappointing one. I think in terms of his price point at 5.0 and looking at his attacking potential, I think he's a keeper for now. Isaac also is a disappointing one. He had a lot of shots, a lot of chances, but did not able to convert at all. He's the same goes with Eze. I think he's on watch list on the chopping block as well. Haaland, no complaint. Hat-trick, and also Chris Wood, kind of disappointed to get that yellow and did not get any returns. So in terms of overall, I did not really disappoint in terms of overall points. And also in terms of decision of not to triple captain, if should I did triple captain Haaland, I just only managed to maintain my previous rank in the 100k ish overall rank. But yeah, I don't think I want to do that at the moment, but try to stabilize everything and moving forward, just want to keep maintain and consistent throughout the way. So yeah, I think that's all for my team for game week 2.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. You still have combo, triple combo Liverpool, who has been performing. back-to-back clean sheet from Liverpool. So excellent stuff. So I think you got that spot on. Maybe Hall now after getting benched this week, it could be a concern, right? I think that's one of the things that you maybe have to look at in terms of Hall. If not, you definitely need to play Harwood. Yeah, right. Because Hall is not an option. If he's coming off the bench, you just need to play him or Face, which is maybe on the move. So I think that's one thing that you're gonna take a look for sure. I think Rogers is still decent because he's playing Arsenal anyway this week. We don't expect much from that. But after this, Aston Villa going to have an excellent fixture. We touch on that later. Wood, yeah, you cannot expect Wood to score every single week, right? So I think last week you got 9 points, right? Exactly. So this 1 point, so it's still better than Muniz, I can say. Because Muniz only got 4 points in total. For you got 10 points in total. So, and this week, excellent fixture because it's Forest against Wolves, if I'm right. So I think you definitely keep Wood after this. So nothing much. I'm going to say, Amin, you want to touch anything about our first team? You're on mute.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, no point regretting over Face because it was just a surprise. Yeah, again, as you mentioned, Jota, the trio of Liverpool all returning again. Well done. I guess the question now is, for both of you, is like players like Guardiola, given that he doesn't seem to be playing that same role that he did towards the end of last season. Is the points potential gonna be that strong enough? You like for you, Aeroforce, you didn't have Gabriel, and for Hafiz, you didn't have TAA. Yeah, so compared. So that's among those decisions that. The good thing is you have Rogers because a lot of people are transferring in Rogers this week apparently. Fortunately I have him. Yeah. So other question marks that we all have to answer is Isaac, and for you two it's Eze. So there you go. Things to need to.
Yep, we'll touch on that later. I would like to welcome Arkan FPL to the stream. He just want to thank us. I think, maybe you answer a lot of his question. He already jumped from 4.8 to 1.3 million. So well done.
Thanks, dude. But the decision is still wholly yours. We don't have to follow or so you got to give yourself credit. So yeah, I'm not sure what the decision that you followed, but well done.
But I think that's a quick question because we're still on Afos team, and one of the question is Hall, keep or sell. Maybe I just ask Afos the feeling right now.
The feeling right. Okay. Now the FPL rule has changed the maximum transfer to 5, but if the rule still the same of 2 maximum transfer, I would sell to another 4.5 defender. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But at the moment, I'm waiting.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Let's go to team of the week. Jump straight. Game week. Sorry. This is actually team of the week. Game week 2, right? The game week 3 is actually this week they're going to play. So game week 3 will be the last week before international break, right? So we have international break after this. So this is actually team of the week for game week 2. David Raya with 10 points. Wow. I can only say wow. Excellent. Who actually spent on 5.5 million with David Raya. I think he returned last week with some bonus points. This week, 9 points. I think on the right side, you can see all the double-digit players. I just posted there so everyone can see. There's plenty of options. There's plenty of players who perform. And whether you can fit in everyone, there will be definitely some enablers inside there. So who else inside here? Only one. We got 2 Spurs player. They trash Everton 4-0. So Romero with a clean sheet, with a goal, 14 points. No Poro this week. Right? And Son with a double goal, right? 16 points. So pretty much Son coming back into free. So I think that's an really a good week. If let's say you have Son, a mixture, some of the players you might not have Haaland, but you have Salah and Son. I think still a good way of your spending the money. So it is time for us to find the right mixture, the right combo into our team. And suddenly Chelsea also explode against Wolves. I don't know how they do it. They actually concede some cheap goal in the first half, but they managed to come back. And who else? Palmer with 17 points, 1 goal and 3 or hat-trick assists. And Madueke Sahareda potong Haaland with that 17 points, got that 3 goals and then 20 big fat points. Can see people are looking at whether Madueke could actually be a right like replacement for Nkuku, because they are priced exactly at same 6.5, and then Jackson with 10 points up front, but I'm not sure about Jackson. Haaland we already touched about 17 points, but Liverpool player Luis Diaz, not Jota, not anyone else. I think a goal and assist, 14 points there, and KDB pop up with a goal. So 12 points from City. And then wrap up here, Aina from, I think, Forest, right, Aina?
Yes.
9 points. So excellent. There's plenty of option who strike in game week 2 for us to rethink again in terms of how we're going to shape up our team. Son, KDB, Palmer. Last week, maybe Saka and Salah. So I go to Azmin, the team of the week.
So yeah, 3 Chelsea players. Is that one off? Is that going to happen often? You got Madueke, Palmer, and Jackson, and Jackson, the much maligned Jackson from last season, off the flyer and scoring, and Palmer coming back to why he was so great last season. But look at Wolves. Wolves were horrible, and like Kilman, who's no longer in Wolves, are now with West Ham, and you can see how West Ham seem to be a bit more stronger in defense, whereas Wolves seem to have deteriorated a bit. So can take of it what you will. I can see a jump of people jumping, those who can afford it, jump or sacrificing Salah, Palmer to exploit the next matchup, because Chelsea will face Crystal Palace, who are looking really problematic at the moment. So yeah, that's a question that needs to be answered. Other than that, you got KDB, but then he's always going to take a back step to Haaland, and it's hard for me to imagine going for him when there are people who are more central to the play, like Son, to choose from instead. That's it, I guess. Or the other thing to point out is, Raya, man, come on, he's showing that it's worth spending on a keeper. So we'll see whether or not it can pan out and he'll be able to sustain. But obviously, like me and Hafiz, we had Gabriel, so we do have some confidence in those clean sheets. But let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, if you double up in Arsenal defense, you are a happy man right now. Raya and maybe Saliba or Gabriel. So money worth spent, looks like it in terms of your thinking about Arsenal. But they have some tough fixture coming up, but not this week, but after that. So we shall see how Arsenal perform. If they survive that and still keeping some clean sheets, I can see your wildcarding, you're definitely going to pick up some double defenders of Arsenal, even though they're pricing a premium one. So I go to Hafiz from this team of the week. What attracts you? Chelsea, like someone that you're thinking to get him in, or maybe like Spurs has said?
Yeah, because I think this team of the week, two players that attracts me the most is, of course, Raya. I think last season to ending of the season, I own Raya, double defend with another Arsenal defender. Should I wildcard this week, or after international break, I would want to consider Raya if I have that spare cash. And also another one is Cole Palmer. Looking at how Chelsea play versus Wolves, and coming to game week 3, Chelsea versus a poor defending Crystal Palace. So I kind of worried of not owning Palmer. Looking how Chelsea plays and how Palmer plays a role in terms of all of those goal involvements. So yeah, I think those two players attract me most among the team of the week for game week 2.
But just like yourself, because your team structure, you got Haaland, you got Salah, it's gonna be tough, right? To fit in Palmer somewhere there, right? Of course, if let's say
definitely.
people having those competition.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I'm gonna change Salah to Palmer or keeping Salah and Haaland and try to bring in Palmer is quite difficult and kind of see how the structure in terms of overall lineup.
All right. Just touch a bit in terms some of the cheap enabler here that actually perform. We already touched about Madueke. We already touched about Smith Rowe from Azmin team. Despite not having full minutes, 70 plus odd minutes, he already showed that he can do it in this game with 10 points. I think that's a good one. If let's say you're thinking to get this Palmer, this Saka, this Salah, I think Smith Rowe is someone that you're going to get in terms of that price point 5.5 or maybe 5 million if you go for Rodgers, but Rodgers has not performed yet. So that's the difference of it. What else here that we can say? Maybe Gibbs White, someone that because they have fixture and he pop up with a goal and 3 bonus point against Southampton, but this week also he has another chance to prove against Wolves. So maybe Gibbs White 6.5 million, yeah, a bit expensive that 5.56, but he could someone that can consider. What else here? Gordon a bit higher, 7.5 million. Newcastle not really me. So I think that's someone.
I guess the only thing is when you look at Son, and then he's doing well, and then you've got people want to bring him in based on the good score, but then we have to remember that Spurs play Everton, who are rubbish, and I did worry about this, and that Spurs were going to waste Everton, and so it happened. So those who had the right Spurs players, Romero, which is rare considering most people had Porro, then well done, and Son as well. But is this a reason for us to get in Son for following weeks? I'm not so sure it's the right timing. I think those who have Son, well done, but I wouldn't want to bring him in yet. They face Newcastle followed by Arsenal, I think. Yeah, so let's wait and see now.
All right, good stuff. Okay, I think we already touched about game team. Unless I thought you want to add in anything before we move on.
No. At the moment, I already touched on Raya and Palmer. The two is the only one that attracts me the most.
All right, let's go have a look at some stats in game week 2. We did mention about Eze, whether it is time for him to go. Eze is he's the top in terms of goal attempt. 12 attempts, 6 inside the box. And if I can recall, last week he got 7. So he got like 5 this week against West Ham. But he's among the top. Then Semenyo. We touched a bit last week. I think he did manage to get a return this week. And also attempts at 12. With Solanke moving out, I think the new signing, Evan Nilsson, coming into Bournemouth, he has played some role on the right side. So he could be someone tempting, but he among the top in terms of attempt. Muniz, 9 attempts, third on this table. So maybe we should give him a chance, but the stat is there. It's frustrating. He sub out somewhere 70 plus minute, right? Because Heyman is coming. Yep. So he still have that risk in terms of not getting 90 minutes. So I just all that I can say here. Suchet make it into this top 5 in terms of goal track. He got that 8 attempts, I think, coming from this Crystal Palace side who have been poor. Bruno also in this top. And all this table is in top 10 players. Bruno Fernandes, 7 attempts. Palmer, Salah, Tavernier Bournemouth, Jota, and then Adam Armstrong. Just quickly on the right side, non-penalty XG, Jota is on top. He's supposed to get that 1.56. He already returned one goal, especially. Then Garnacho, maybe he's not someone people looking at because in terms of minutes, still uncertain. But then Welbeck is also here. He already overperformed. 1.31, he already scored 2 goals and at 5.5 million. But if let's say you have someone like Joe Pedro who actually scored the last minute against Manchester United, I think he got 8 points in total. So pretty much the table. And Bruno Fernandes in these two table in terms of attempts and also goal non-penalty. Main?
I want to talk about Thomas Suchek, and I think we mentioned him last week in terms of stats about how he's really getting into the box, and it's definitely something to look at, and maybe we could look at him once the fixture turns much better. But but he didn't. And second game week, he followed up an assist from the last week with a goal. So he got to hand it to Suchek, and at that price point, so he had 5 points in the first game and 8 points in the second. With a value of only $5, we definitely got to look at West Ham, and we don't know, we've underestimated them. They've turned out to look better under the new manager than we thought. Even though they did lose the first match, I think it was Villa. But West Ham do look decent. The other person that I wanted to mention is Semenyo. Yeah, and again, in the team of underestimating Bournemouth, it looks like in terms of stats wise, he's really putting on the shift to replace Solanke as the main man, and again, we're kind of halted by fixtures, but once those fixtures turn, both Suchek and Semenyo could be some valuable additions to your team, especially when you look at the prices at only 5.5 and 5.0. So they're not popular right now, as in they're not being transferred in much because of the fixtures. So but I'm not sure whether we should wait for the fixture to put picking them in. So we need to consider that.
Of course, we both have Eze. He's on top in terms of attempts. So what do you think? Is it someone that we need to be more patient because the stat is still up there?
Frustrating to know to own Eze. Luckily, I don't own Bruno Fernandes as well. So, but yeah, I think as an Eze owner, if I don't have any other concerns, I'll just keep him for another week because after game week 3 is international break. So I don't think I'm in a rush to replace him. I think he's expected to fall in price tomorrow morning.
Yep.
If I, I
Azmin,
think so.
terror bab ni. So he can look at FPL stat and see whether it's dropping price, right?
Yeah. I'll check on that. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I think he's expected to fall price to 6.9. But anyway, I give him another week before the international break. So the rest of the players, I think I'm on the same page with Azmin, Semenyo, and Suchek. Semenyo, I think is an alternative option to the popular pick like Smith Rowe. I think is it's a good pick also at that price point. But at the same time, I just take a quick look on the heat map for Thomas Suchek. His heat map inside the box is really hot, man. I think he played different role compared to last season. I think last season he plays quite deep in terms of his positioning, but this time around he's more on attacking. He plays really up front, so I think he's one to be considered once the fixtures turn for West Ham.
I just want to still keep with our force on Bruno Fernandes. The Bruno Fernandes stat is there, But I just want to mention, do you surprised that Bruno Fernandes sub out against Brighton, if I'm right? So he did not complete the 90 minutes. Afos, so what's your reaction to it? It's just tactical or fatigue, or because normally Bruno going to play 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, normally Bruno gonna play. I think it's more on tactical, because honestly, I didn't watch the whole game, but I did watch the highlights because in terms of creativity, on terms of creating chances, maybe the whole build-up did not able to get any chances or to convert or get it inside the box. So I think this is more on tactical decision in terms of overall. But yeah, I think it's a quite frustrating game. Overall, Manchester United did lost 2-1 to Brighton.
Yeah. But I think with that minutes, if let's say that's concerned, I think if you own Bruno Fernandes, you definitely think because you are spending 8.5, now dropping to 8.4. So definitely it's concerned because at 8 million plus, same like Odegaard, because I think Odegaard did not return anything yet, if I'm right. So I think if they say you're in that boat, you're definitely itchy to make changes to a cheaper asset. Min,
Yeah.
anything else before we move forward?
That no, I'm really worried about Manchester United in sense, you sub out Bruno Fernandes. He he continues to your manager continues to play Rashford. I'm not sure why. His decision making looks completely short. I've seen a couple of times where he didn't he just did the totally wrong pass or the wrong move. So and it's
exactly.
clear that when Garnacho plays, the attack looks so much better. There's a lot more drive to it. So that's a worry. And when you take up Fernandez, and the thing with Fernandez, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but he can be a bit of a sulker when things aren't going the way that he wants to. Not to say he shies away from the game, but his body language, it
Yeah,
looks a bit wrong, and then it kind of I do worry that it affects the team as a whole. So ETH definitely has a lot to do, and he's facing Liverpool next. So that
Yep.
if Dalot, who's currently playing at left back, so he's going to be up against Salah, right? Yeah, your new guy is playing at right back at the moment, right? And that's why Dalot's moved to the left. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if Rashford is on the left, is he going to help out to deal with Salah? And I can't see that. If it was Garnacho, sure, he'll just he'll chase. But I'm worried that if Rashford starts, Dalot's going to be
Same.
split open.
Yeah. Rashford doesn't seem to be putting that lot of effort, in terms of overall game, going up to defending, and then he's not attacking as usual compared to past few seasons.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Let's go to potential assists. Assist potential up there. Last week still Pereira. This week also the same. Assist potential, chance created, 13 in total. Okay, which is nice. I think TA moved to second, which is nice. Owner like both of you, right? TAA 7 chances created. There's a lot of plays here, and the most big chances created is from TAA, which is really nice. Even though you have to pay premium at 7 million, so you can see his potential. Diaz, another Liverpool player up here, in terms of chances created, 7 like TAA. Hudson Odoi from Forest, then McNeil from Everton, maybe not so much. Saka already touched last week, but this week against Aston Villa, maybe not so much creativity, but still they managed to get result against Villa. Tavernier pop up with a goal, 7 chances created. Bowen also coming into here. I think he scored a goal against Crystal Palace, which is nice, and 7.5 million. He said Skip White's already touched, and the Palmer inside this top 10. On the right side, expected assist from the 2 week EE is in top with 1.49. Although he has not assist yet for the past two games, if I'm right. Then Madison, I think I like that. Madison at 7.5 million, he already produced 2 assists from 2 games. We expected 1.36, which is an option at 7.5 million. If you're thinking any Spurs asset, but Azmin did mention their picture a bit rough coming weeks. But Semenyo also inside here, which is nice if you're thinking about that 5.5 million bracket. So Azmin, assist potential, Pereira, TAA.
Yeah, so not so much about that, but because for Pereira, because of his where he's playing at makes it hard for us to actually pick him as a player. But the players he's impacting. So you see a lot of transfers in for Smith Rowe, who did score a goal last week, and last week was also a lot of people evacuating into Robinson because from the likes of Kwanzaa, which turns out to be the right move. The thing is, because Muniz hasn't performed, so you don't see a lot of transfers in for Muniz, despite looking at that Pereira stat of incredible number of chances created. So those of us who had Muniz from week 1, this could be a profitable week if he finally converts those chances created by Pereira into goal, because it's unlikely that a lot of people will be transferring him at this stage. So that's what I'm betting on. Anyway, TA, I think he's due. Sorry, Manchester United fans, but I think this game he will blow up a bit. He may even blow up a bit more than Salah. So yeah, I can see something happening this week.
Okay, we shall see. Hafiz, anyone else? We talked about Madison just now. Is he someone that into also your thinking 2 assists for the past 2 games?
Yeah, definitely. I think looking at the overall kind of pricing structure of all the FPL players, should I want to get heavy in the midfield, I might want to consider Madison as opposed to Son, because Son is at the 10.0 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Thanks.
Madison is the another alternative to who can create a lot of chances, getting assists, and also even score goals. So yeah, after Spurs fixtures turn to get all those easier ones, maybe I might consider bringing Madison to get heavy on the midfield.
Right.
Other than that, Andres Pereira had a lot of chances created, but doesn't seem to be converted in terms of FPL points. The same goes to his teammate Muniz. He has a lot of underlying stats backing him up, but just that didn't convert well in terms of FPL points. So I might put on hold to that. The better option is to have maybe Smith Rowe or even Semenyo at that 5.5 price point.
From the stats we already see, there's plenty of 5.55 million who actually we can get into their team. The stats can back them. Semenyo, Pereira, Smith Rowe, the list just go on, which is nice. Benches like us fitting in all these big premium players.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Let's go to the next one. We play some game. Keep, buy or sell. I think this is nice one because I just read from the Fantasy Premier League site. They are asking the experts, so-called, whether to keep, buy or sell of these players. So why not we just share our thoughts, which is nice because maybe viewers can think about whether what we should do, right? So I go first. AZ, I go for Afos because we both have AZ. Just go for you. AZ, 7 million, 27% owned by managers. Their fixture in the next 4, Chelsea, Leicester, Manchester United, and Everton. Some mixed bag inside there. So your reaction, keep, buy or sell, if let's say in terms of AZ.
Yeah, kind of mixed feeling. He did score in the Carabao Cup versus Norwich, but then again, that was against Norwich. This time around, it's against Chelsea, who are might be the better teams in terms overall. But his ownership dropping fast. People kind of not having that patience enough to hold him anymore, because another one is the fixture against Chelsea. But for myself, I'm keeping at the moment,
Okay.
at least for
Fair.
one week.
All right. Bruno Fernandes. Question for Azmin. 8.4 million. 50% owned by managers. Liverpool, Southampton, Palace, and Spurs. Also, some tough fixture inside there.
My main worry with Eze and Fernandez is the teams they're playing in at the moment, because it's not great. And as Crystal Palace continues to lose players, and they have to focus on their defense, and that might slow down the attack. Whereas for Bruno, for Manchester United, the team is lacking cohesion at the moment. So for me, I'd be a sell for both of them. But if you had both of them, then you probably sell Fernandez, because he's just, I think he could do more with the money.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I had to choose which one to sell, I'd sell Fernandez.
Okay. I go to Hafiz. First on Isaac, 8.5 million. He is most owned, if I'm right. 51%. Managers own him. Spurs, Wolves, Fulham, and then Man City. What your thought? Keep or sell?
Yeah, Spurs defense can be leaky most of the time, and then after that, Wolves and Fulham, I'm keeping at the moment until at least until after international break or before City games.
Right. Then, same thought.
Yeah, keep. Yeah, I mean, I'm currently on this trend of wanting to hold off up till 5 transfers. I know it's impossible, but I am looking at. I do feel that holding for now would be a better idea. For example, I do have Nkunku, and I resisted selling him at that point where his price was looking to go down, because I do feel that I need to wait for the transfer window to open, and my squad is I can handle it at the moment, I think. But let's see when we look at our teams.
Okay. Question for Azmin. He has Nkunku, 6.4 million dropping in price, 10% managers on him, but he has fixture. Palace, Portsmouth, West Ham, then Brighton. What do you think, mate? Keep or sell?
Cool, sorry.
Nkunku.
So I have him at the moment, and I don't see myself selling him. I don't mind waiting, because a lot can happen. Of course, the bigger problem with Chelsea is that they got such a bloated squad. It's like they still tak cukup player. Now, last I heard, they want a striker. They want to and Jackson's not enough, or and all the midfielders in the world. So, but injuries happen and things happen, so I don't mind waiting, and let's just see.
Okay.
All
right.
What happens. Yeah, for all you know, some of these surplus midfielders might come out, and then Nkunku might become good again. Or even on Thursday, maybe Nkunku doesn't play at all. It's possible. So then he might have a chance at starting again. Yeah.
Okay. Question for Afos, next one. Watkins, 9 million, 29% owned. So quite big in terms of ownership. Leicester, Everton, Wolves, and Ipswich. If you don't have him and you feel itchy about Isaac, do you think it's a wise move, Isaac, to Watkins? I just throw this question to you, boss.
I said 8.5 and Watkins 9.0. If I have that extra 0.5, I might do that, considering Watkins have that fixture. Leicester, Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, all these have the record of conceding a lot of goals in the first 2 game weeks. Yeah. It's not an urgent buy. Those who have him might consider as a whole, but who wish to do a transfer, we can consider getting him on. now, starting now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with that fixture with 10 managers, if you're not feeling anymore with Isaac, that I can say. Then Guardiola, 6 million premium defender, 32% owned by managers, which is high. By Sam Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle. I have Guardiola. My first thought, the fixture is still there, although he's not kind of attacking, but West Ham Brentford is still decent for keep. But if they say I have a chance to upgrade someone like me who do not have TAA, I think I'll do that to TAA if I want to make the move. So I think that's my reaction. But I just go to Afos because Afos has Guardiola in his team also. What's your thought?
Yeah, looking at the fixture, I wish I want to hold him as long as I can, but I kind of feel nervous of not owning Palmer. So
Wow. Wow.
him is the one to make way for Palmer along
Okay.
with Eze and Isaac.
Wow. For one player, Palmer. Looks
For
like
one player.
essential. You're sounding Palmer is like essential, which I'm worried because I'm not considering. That's why. Never mind. Later we go to our team. Azmin, I go to you. Madueke scored a hat trick. Recently gave it to 6.5 million, only owned by 7%. We already touched about Chelsea, which is great. Is it a knee jerk getting Madueke into the team after that hat trick goal? What do you think, man?
Oh, definitely is a knee jerk. I just feel that you could, but the state of Chelsea's midfield right now is just unpredictable. You don't know whether or not he's found his right team, his first 11, because they not other teams are not going to be as accommodating as Wolves were, and just throw it out. Having said that, I did tweet wondering, is your current Chelsea a version of the early Liverpool Klopp's Liverpool, where it's just rock and roll, let's score a lot of goals, defense be damned, it's looking like it at the moment, except the problem is that who is the starring cast? We haven't figured that out yet. So we need more time. So I wouldn't jump into any Chelsea assets until we see a bit of settled team.
But Afos already feeling it. It's like Palmer is the one, but we shall see. I'm still
no,
sure.
Palmer definitely fine. But now we're talking about Madueke, who's a lot cheaper. Yeah, Palmer is a mainstay.
Yeah.
We saw that from last season. The only issue with Palmer is with his value is enough to justify it. I think the question is
10.5 million is
it's quite more
expensive.
But based on Gameweek 2, he's returning. For 10, he got 17, so that's pretty good. So it's off to a good start.
Okay, all right. Okay, good stuff. Last but not least, Henderson. Every one of us own him. 4.5 million. 15% managers own him. Chelsea, Leicester, Manchester United, and also Everton fixture we touched about. Same fixture like Eze. Henderson, Afos. Is a kid for sale.
Yeah, if I have a chance to sell him right now, or should I wild card in Gameweek 3, I will definitely change my goalkeeper, Henderson.
Okay.
Definitely a sell. I don't have that confidence for Crystal Palace defensively.
I think Azmin already touched because Henderson leaving, the guy could potentially leaving to Newcastle. Looks dire in terms of Palace. I'm worried, right, mate?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to grin and bear it. We definitely expect, after Gameweek 1, suddenly lose Henderson. Now looks like might lose Guehi as well. But I didn't expect one to change my keeper, so I'm content to hold for now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go next. We already hit our 1 hour mark. Gameweek 3 fixture is here. 10 games. First will kick off on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Malaysian time. Arsenal versus Brighton. I think this is an excellent match considering Brighton got back-to-back win, if I'm right. Same goes for Arsenal. So this like top clash match, I suppose, right? So Arsenal versus Brighton, we open up with that game. Can Arsenal keep back to back clean sheet? We shall know against the Brighton attacking team. Then at 10 p.m. Malaysian time, plenty of game. Brentford versus Hampton. On paper, Brentford so-called should win this game. Visa Bomo is already on our people's eyes after getting returns last week. Tony looks like not going to getting back into this team. Is on the move. Everton versus Bournemouth. Can Everton bounce back? Wow, suddenly I see this match. If you're thinking about Semenyo, this could be a game that a nice entry if you want to get Semenyo after seeing this fixture. Then Ipswich versus Fulham. We shall see whether Ipswich. I think this is, after we look at the fixture, the beginning of a good run in terms of fixture for Ipswich. But it's against Fulham. Smith Rowe, Pereira, Muniz, can they deliver in this game? Then Leicester versus Villa. Looks like Villa should get the upper hand home against Leicester. So if you're interested in Watkins, Rogers, this could be the game. Forest versus Wolves. Wood, Morgan Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi. If you have it, I think this is a game that you should eye. Then West Ham versus Man City. Interesting. Away to West Ham with the new manager. They already got that 2-0 win. The moral will be high for West Ham. Then Chelsea versus Palace. Not the best game for Palace. Away to Chelsea, who are already run riot 6-2 against Wolves. Then Newcastle Spurs. I think this is an interesting game. Both are pretty much a good team. And then we close off with definitely the biggest one, Manchester United versus Liverpool on Sunday, Super Sunday. So in terms of goals and clean sheet odds on the right side, from data from SpreadX and from Rob T FPL, if you want to follow him, do so if you want to see these stats. In terms of goal, the highest is 2. Arsenal and Man City expect to score 2.45. And then clean sheet, same goes for both of them. 42% keeping clean sheet against Brighton. Man City, 38%. Then who else? Chelsea are expected to score 2.15. But I'm not sure about keeping clean sheet with that 32%. So this is the fixture and odds for this week. Azmin, which interests you?
Well, of the first match is crazy. I'm not necessarily for FPL, but you got two teams at the top of the table, Arsenal versus Brighton. Brighton looking really good under the youngest manager at the moment. I think he's like 31 years old. Might be younger than some of the players that are playing. A lot younger than Jamie Vardy. But his Brighton have been looking decent. And Pedro, who we saw last season, being rotated and started getting subbed early by RDZ, looks like he's getting a starring role under the new manager, even though Welbeck is still around and Welbeck is the one up at the focal point. But when Welbeck will almost always get subbed off, Pedro stays on and he becomes the focal point. So we don't know Brighton can score against Arsenal. It'll be very interesting to see. To be fair, Villa could have scored against Arsenal last week, but it's just that their finishing was off. The sharpness wasn't there, and Raya was psycho.
Yeah, easy.
So it was some crazy saves there. So so credit to that. So it'd be really interesting to watch. And I'm curious still because we're holding off. Unless you already have Pedro, you're holding off on picking him up. Young Brighton players, but after this one, maybe if Brighton's somehow performs against Arsenal, then you definitely want to look at Brighton assets. Other than that, the other thing is, obviously those who are looking to save transfers aren't having problems, but you know how a lot of people move from Nkunku to the likes of Rogers or the likes of Smith Rowe, but Bournemouth, again, as we saw, don't have great fixtures, but this game they are playing Everton, who are so to be quite bad. And if people have picked up Semenyo instead of 5.5, especially for those who may look to wildcard after the IB, and they'll probably pick up Semenyo here instead, and wildcard after. Yeah, so there's some potential there.
Right. I think that's spot on from Azmin in terms of fixture. Of course, what interests you from this game week? Who should we eye?
Okay, for my watch list players from Brentford, Momo, and also Bernard Semenyo, and maybe even Evanescent. But I think these two teams quite attracts me the most moving forward. But I don't think I might be bringing up these assets quite soon because of the fixtures. I think let me see. I think Brentford after this against City and Spurs, and also Bournemouth doesn't really have a good run fixture, but I think it's a good option to look, especially Semenyo at that 5.5 price bracket. Should we want to consider him as a fourth midfielder?
Yep. I think what else is here? I think the usual suspect, Man City and Arsenal. We do expect, personally, I think Arsenal could be tested this week. Whether they can keep a clean sheet. Much about that. I'm interested to see whether this Ipswich, this Leicester, and also Southampton, can they actually get some points, because especially Ipswich and Leicester at home, despite Fulham and Villa, but they need grand results. So I just want to share whether there are some assets from this team that we can look at for moving forward. So that's what my thoughts are in terms of seeing this.
I just want to point out, because Ipswich has been identified as one of the weaker sides, but then they did face Liverpool and Manchester City, you know, and then if you look at the goals and odds there, it's not that bad. Ipswich versus Fulham there, the chances are not that far off. So it'll be, I think there are people like me who've tripled down Fulham. So this is really where I think this is the match where we really see whether or not Ipswich are good, are better than people think. So we definitely need to take a look at that one.
All right. Gustav, let's go quickly on the captain pick. We already know the fixture. Who are the candidates for this week? I just put 4 who actually can perform on the day on its own. We already know about Haaland away to West Ham. Then Liverpool again, Manchester, another away, but we know Mo Salah back to back already double digit. Saka at home against Brighton. Could he be the one? Or Chelsea at home against Palace, and of course really into Palmer, so he could be the one that people are looking at. The usual suspect is definitely Haaland and Salah. The price tag is also up there. Of course, what do you think? Is it a normal going for Haaland or Salah, the normal one, or there could be some differential pick that we can pick this week?
Yeah, I think the safe pick, of course, I think most people will definitely go with Erling Haaland, but if you want to go for a huge differential, like you said earlier, I think I prefer Chelsea, Cole Palmer versus Palace. I think Palace doesn't look good defensively, and Chelsea, in terms of overall, is a Palmer centric kind of place. So I'm worried of not owning Palmer at the same time of those who have him and wanted to go different. I think this is a time to captain Palmer instead of Haaland. And Saka and Salah, I don't think cause Saka maybe against Brighton, but Salah, I don't think I would want to consider him as captain. Maybe as MU bias. I don't know. But in terms of performance wise, I think it's either Haaland or Palmer for this week.
Right. I forgot to mention Palmer ownership is quite high actually, 30% odds.
Yeah.
So some managers already get in Palmer from the game week 1. So I think they already rip up that dividend in terms of getting Palmer. And who knows if he another double digit point this week, I can see his ownership shooting right up into maybe more than I said, more maybe. We shall see.
If another double digit, I'll be crying.
All right, man, your captain pick for this week.
It just means other teams have to step up. Yeah, I mean, if you had Cole Palmer, then it definitely looks like the better option, given that the two premiums of City and of Haaland and Liverpool are both playing away. Arsenal versus Brighton is hard because I can't figure that out, so I wouldn't captain Saka. Plus, it's the early match, so I'd rather have my captain play. Not to say that they won't score. It's just that I don't want to sit through and see my captain not scoring and have to sit through all the other matches hoping they don't score.
You know the feeling.
Yeah. So if because I have to choose between Haaland and Salah, and I will go for Salah because West Ham I feel is still an unknown quantity under the new manager, but it looks like there's some improvement. Manchester United, however, are the same manager, and there's still looking like some issues and some favoritism there that I'm not sure whether or not it's true, but it's enough for Liverpool to try to exploit. Granted, we're not looking at a high points total maybe compared to Cole Palmer, but we have to choose one. So unless you're deciding to sell Salah for Palmer, which is actually a possibility, if you don't mind, I am currently looking at captaining Salah.
Okay. So for myself, I don't have Salah, I don't have Palmer. I don't have intention to bring those players in. So the only option I have is Haaland and Saka. And I recall Saka has disappointed me when I want him to deliver, especially against a promoter side or a bottom 10 side. So that's the feeling that I have on Saka, despite he's playing at home. So it looks like it's an auto pick for Haaland for me this week, even though against a new change, West Ham who can be a good team at home, and we shall see whether West Ham can perform against City in this game, which is nice to see. All right, let's go to our team, but before that, take a quick peek in terms of fixture ticker for the next 6. We already know after game week 3, there'll be international break. Then 4, 5, 6, 7 before another international break. And then game week 8. So those are the international break window. So on top of the ticker, now is Aston Villa, Leicester, Everton, Wolf at home, Ipswich, then Manchester United, then Fulham. It's a nice run after Villa facing Arsenal last week. So that's why people, if let's say you think about Watkins, if you have Rodgers, so I think this set a good match for you to in. I'm not sure when the Champions League match will start, because I think there's some interesting fixture later because Champions League format is already different. They play more games, if I'm right. Okay, so but that should not be your concern right now. Play Leicester, then Everton, then Wolf. Everybody know Everton concede 4 goals, Wolves concede 6 goals. So Villa could be on your thoughts. Then who else? Azmin did mention Ipswich. They are fixture swing. Now they have decent fixture. Fulham, Brighton, Southampton. Then Villa, West Ham, then Everton. I'm not sure whether I want to say this. The Everton fixture are turning blue also. Bournemouth, Villa, Leicester, Palace, Newcastle, and Ipswich. But I don't see anyone going or jumping to any Everton asset especially if you're interested in Pickford. I don't think so. People jump off wagon from Pickford, maybe. Then Liverpool still have that fixture, which is nice. Manchester Forest, Portsmouth, Wolves. So triple up, of course, you can still continue. I can see. Then Southampton, we already touched that, and we also Chelsea. After that, Man City. After that, Wolves or start that fixture. Palace, Portsmouth, West Ham, Brighton, and Forest. I think this could be a nice one to jump in. Especially, of course, you mentioned about Palmer. Fulham also have that fixture. On the bottom of the ticker, Brighton. Okay. Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle. I'm not sure if let's say you want to tell me any João Pedro. If you have João Pedro, then maybe you still have some decent fixtures in the middle with Ipswich and Forest at home in game week
Yep.
4 and 5, which is still nice. But bringing in is still a question mark. Wolf also still bottom. Newcastle, Liverpool, and Man City in the next 6. And Spurs already excellent 2 fixture they face. Azmin mentioned Newcastle, Arsenal, then Manchester United also inside that fixture. So main fixture ticker, do you like Villa, Ipswich?
I definitely like Villa, but in terms of the fixtures, but the squad isn't, with Watkins not quite sharp yet. So I know those who are wildcarding will definitely want to bring in Watkins now, but I still think that you could wait for the international break, and that where he'll have a bit more minutes under his belt, because remember Watkins didn't have much of a preseason. Yeah, and the other thing with it's Leicester, they held Spurs in the first game at home. So at home they may be a better, and they may just be enough to hold Villa. So maybe you don't have. Now, for those of us who have Rodgers, yep, I'm game. I'm game. Let's go for it. But to bring in someone more expensive like Watkins, just wait. Yeah, let's wait until after the international break, where Watkins has had a lot more, more better. But yeah, stay away from Everton. Ipswich could be interesting, but yeah, we don't know much about the teams yet. Just now you mentioned Brighton at the bottom there. Yeah, you could bring in Pedro for 5.5 for Ipswich and Forest and maybe the Chelsea games. It's because you don't need to invest highly in them. You just need to have someone. Yeah, and someone you will bench when the time comes. So yeah, because Brighton are looking good. Let's face it.
Yeah. Just want to share, as Amir did point out, Champions League match day start 17th, 19th September. Okay, thanks for the info. So at least we know it's somewhere in September in 4 and 5 game week.
So that's the other issue with Villa, because they're going into the Champions League for the first time. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hafiz, in terms of Villa, what do you think? Fixture ticker or any other team that you want to touch?
Yeah, I guess that explains it. People bringing in Rodgers, because of the fixture and also because of his price point. I think the famous players are the likes of Rodgers. Maybe if I go for the defenders like Konsa, because for attacking wise, Watkins doesn't seem to be on point or sharp at the moment. He's more for wait and see. But if you would like to bring him in early to get to have that faith to get points early than others, then why not in replace of maybe the likes of Isaac? But yeah, I think the first priority is Rodgers or maybe another one defender to replace your 4.5 or 5.0 defenders. Other than that, I'm looking at I already have triple up Liverpool and Chelsea. Chelsea maybe is the one to is on my watch list. But from Cole Palmer, maybe the likes of Madueke should because preseason Chelsea has been good in terms of their players, Madueke and Nkunku performing preseason, but it's a matter of who people pick, and then most people end up with Vuku, but falling short starting of the season, not playing full and did not have any returns. But those who did go for Madueke really gets his return in game week 2. But at the moment, we just kind of wait and see of those who are really nailed at starting, because we know how deep Chelsea's squad is. But trying to be safe, if we have the funds, then maybe try to bring in Cole Palmer, because looking at it, I think Chelsea playing around Cole Palmer at the moment.
Right, good stuff. Cole Palmer, first player to come in for Chelsea. All right, let's go to our team. So I go for my team first. No money in the bank, 2 transfer. Will I make any changes? So for my team, Henderson in goal, Gabriel home at Brighton, Guardiola away to West Ham, Pedro Porro away to Newcastle. I'm thinking whether to play Johnson over Porro. I'm not too sure about that. I think Porro can still deliver despite away to Newcastle. You just never know this is going to be a high scoring game and Porro going to involve. That's my feeling. So in midfield, Saka, Eze, Gordon and Jota will be my mainstay definitely. No other player are going to come in. And then Haaland, I said Muniz. My feeling is whether Eze should go, whether TA should come in. That away to Manchester United play into my mind also. Away to Manchester has been confident that Liverpool going to get that result. But still, Manchester at home still a tough match on paper at least. So I want to make a history, man. I want to be the first one to get that 3-role transfer, right? Despite AZ not performing, Muniz not performing. Give them another chance. And we shall see after the international break. Let's see. AZ, when people are not eyeing, could he deliver against Chelsea at home? Chelsea is still erratic in defense. Let's try as one last chance. And if he's not perform, maybe against Leicester, he can go away with Chelsea. My feeling, keep it tight to my team. Let's roll transfer. Let's enjoy the 3-roll transfer. Who knows, I'm wildcard after the international break, and I got that 3 transfer that I can move on, moving forward, right? So that would be nice. That's my thought, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, no objections, because look, you don't have the Barco problem, you don't have the Kwanzaa problem. You do have a face problem, so that's your first problem now, but you don't have to worry about it now. So you do have everyone who is there will start, so you don't have any starting issues. So yeah, I'm happy I'm happy for you to continue that way and play with your squad, because obviously you built your squad long enough, so you had those things in mind. So yeah, go for it. I support you all the way. Right. Keep it. But question is your captaincy on Haaland?
Yep, I think that's my choice. I did mention about Saka just now, but I'm not feeling it at this juncture, because Saka can be a disappointing guy even though they play at home. And I think I trust Haaland for another week. Okay. Let's go to the next one, which is Azmin team. 2-3 transfer also. You have some option for this week.
Yeah, so my option is I'm going to bench Nkunku and Murphy, and that's it. And I will be captaining Salah and saving my transfer like you. Whoa. So my team, just for the will be Henderson, TAA, Gabriel, Pedro Porro, Smith Rowe, Salah, Robinson. So 4 playing 4 at the back with Robinson. Rogers comes in, and then so it's a 4-3-3 with Haaland, Isaac, and Muniz. So I'm willing to give Isaac another shot and Muniz another shot. And yeah, and let's hold off and let's take a look after the international break.
I like the new Azmin. I
don't. I don't.
I think I like your move. Maybe one, but Jacob Murphy, I think in terms of minutes, is at risk, right? I haven't seen the
I'm
second
benching
game.
him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
bench him. I'm gonna bench Murphy and Nkunku.
Okay. All right. Let's
For
see, man.
Robinson and
If let's say
Rogers.
Nkunku didn't play in this midweek against Servant for the European Conference, if he did not play, maybe you could give him a chance to start against Palace. That's my feeling. That's all. Just hold your thought. Okay.
I hope he plays so I don't have to worry about that. Just play in midweek, then I can bench him in relief.
All right. Good stuff. Let's go to our first team. This is your team. Maybe dilemma in terms of Hall against Howard. Maybe that's the only thing that you want to solve or think about it. What do you think, Afos, your team?
Yeah, for my team, I think this. I think the setup is more or less right. Just a matter of I will be captaining Haaland. It's a matter of defenders. It's either Hall, Face, or Howard. But if minutes are concerned between Face and Hall, I might just play Howard. But at the moment, I think I'll be playing Lewis Hall first.
Okay. All right. Even though he might not play and coming off the bench with 1 point.
Depending on how things goes really all those last minutes, or maybe looking at the predicted lineups for Newcastle.
Okay.
I think at the moment I'm playing him, but until that predicted lineup comes up, should he's not predicted to start, maybe I buy him for how those because I think he's more nailed to start.
Yeah, I think the most nailed is Howard definitely. Face, if it's not going yet, I don't know whether Cooper will play Face if he's on the move. Normally, I think this is also an interesting week because it's the last transfer window, right? A week. So if people will sort out their move and just say Face, I think he will not be in the squad if that's the case. So you left with, I think, Howard to play, even though away to Brentford. So just play him, I think. That's all. Unless you think about getting any players, no? In?
At the moment, I'm with you, trying to roll transfer to get that first 3 free transfers.
Right. Hopefully everyone
because I
don't...
can still play Howard. I can still play
Right.
Howard. So full squad is not really a concern much.
Good stuff. No transfer. Hopefully these stream are not too boring because we are not making any transfer. But we did share our feeling, right? Okay, that's the most important thing. All right, let's take some questions before we're off. We already 1 hour and 30 minutes. Like quickly. I go Rakan FPL, the question. I think we already answered about Hall. Son to Palmer, Azmin, for you. Son to Palmer.
Yeah, go for it.
Wow. All right. Okay. Next one. Afos, keep Emil Smith Rowe if you have, or sell, skip SL or sell for Rogers. You already have Rogers. But if you have a Smith Rowe, what do you feel? Is Smith Rowe better than Rogers?
I'm keeping Smith Rowe. Should I have him over Rogers? Because I think in terms of Fulham, Andres Pereira is the one creating chances, and the one who will be scoring is either Muniz or Smith Rowe. So I'm keeping him.
All right. Shiro-san, thank you for question. Azmin, can Everton get their first win away to home to Bournemouth? Bournemouth is a decent team.
Are you seriously asking me, Shiro? Everton? No. I think Everton are toast, and good luck to them, because with the likes of Brandtwaite still out, it's really hurting that defense, and I think without Brandtwaite he seems clueless. So nope, not this week. Try again next week.
Raya or Martinez, Afos. 5-on-5 Martinez, 5 million.
I think I like Raya better because looking at
Okay.
his save potential and we know how good Arsenal defend.
Okay. All right. Raya is the one. Konate. Good question for us. Any thought on Konate? Kwanzaa bench. I think he's maybe slightly injured, but Konate, could he be
Okay.
a good option?
Okay, if you don't have TAA, then yeah, go for it. Because if you have TAA, then I'm hesitant to bring in another defender because I feel that
How much is Konate? For
Is it
5.0. Okay.
yeah.
Five.
So one
Five.
thing, especially for those who wild card, if you feel that TA is out of your league, then I would want to consider Robertson because if you follow me on Twitter, I did repost someone's, I can't remember his name, you can look it up, but he did some interesting analysis about Robertson and the positions he's getting into, which I quite liked, and I took a look at some of the match highlights, and yes, he's getting into some great positions to score, and he still takes some of the set free kicks, corners. So yeah, it could be a cheaper it could be a cheaper TAA but equal output because he is showing the equal output at the moment.
All right. Muniz or Wood? Of course, you have Wood, but if you have option, would you go Muniz or Wood?
Looking at the underlying stats, I have more confidence on Muniz.
Okay.
I think Muniz will reward those owners soon.
Hopefully this week. Come on, Muniz. All right. Let's go next question. I said to Watkins, if money not a problem, would you do that?
No, I still want to wait on Watkins. Not away to Leicester. Yeah, I'll wait. I think Isaac can still score against Spurs because the way Spurs are set up is just for Newcastle to score against. So yeah.
All right. Question again on the enablers. Of course, Rogers or Semenyo, 5.5 million. I don't know, Semenyo, Rogers, ESR. I don't know who's the one that people should get in.
Yeah, I think looking at the previous underlying stats, I kind of like Semenyo, but in terms of fixture wise, longer term, I think Rogers is the one to be in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Good. Question about Savinho. Any thought on Savinho? Looks lively against Ipswich last week.
Yeah, but no. I mean, it's got Haaland, and then you got Foden coming in soon, and yeah, and those people. There's still people trying to squeeze KDB in, but no, I'm not sure Savinho has enough of the goal scoring product. So no, I'd avoid for now. And plus, it's still Pep. He might still play his easing him in, and suddenly start benching him. So no.
Yeah.
No go.
Question about Rico Lewis. Keep or sell? Or maybe I rephrase it. Would you buy him now at 4.5 million? Of course.
I think if you're looking at short term, I might buy him for another 2 game weeks before City have a tough fixture. So, but keep or sell, I think I'm keeping at the moment.
I think keep is easier question, but buying is going to be a tougher one where they already past these 2 games. Maybe Walker start coming in. That's for me, it's a concern. So I don't think I'm going to buy. But if keeping, I think you should keep until Luis do not lose his.
I do want to see how Pep uses him. Sorry.
Yeah. In terms of attacking role, I think I can understand why people interested in getting Luis because Luis plays more attacking, and he looks like kind of last season's Guardiola. But yeah, I can understand why people want to have him in at 4.5.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just want to see how Pep utilizes Walker when he comes back because from the looks of it, Lewis is getting into the box really well. and it is at the expense of Guardiola. So I think if Walker was playing, then Guardiola might actually be more in front as well. So Lewis, the problem thing with Lewis, he's so cheap, so
Yeah.
it's very attractive.
Yeah.
Right. Amin, you take this one. Who to play? ESR away to Ipswich or Gordon at home against Spurs? If I have both, I'll play both. But what's your answer?
I play Gordon. Gordon has better chance of playing more minutes, and Gordon at home is a beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Agree.
Last but not least, question from Ame. In terms of wildcard plan, I go to Hafiz first. When you guys consider plan to use wildcard, Game Week 6 is the one that people think about fixture turning to some of the team like Arsenal and so on. But in general, Hafiz, what's in your mind?
Okay. In general, I would want to see a lot of teams in terms of their starting place and how all the teams are performing. So I try to hold on to wildcard as long as I can, and especially those wildcard draft from all of the managers, whether or not they are more or less are the likes of your current team. So if it differs so much because of the fixtures string, I might consider wildcard early. But if they are wildcarding more or less the same with your current team, then might as well just stick with your current team and try to hold on to that wildcard as long as you can.
Okay. Min, how about you?
I really have no plans to use my wildcard at the moment because I don't see an immediate first, even at game week 6, I don't see a need to get wildcard at the moment. Yeah,
Okay.
but it really, let's see how the transfer window pans out, and
Yep.
what happens after the international break, and then we can revisit that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to just wait for the transfer window shut, and we shall see all the players settle. You know already who will be in, which is nice. For me, I'm open to game week for wildcard. I can just share with you guys because if let's say Manchester against Liverpool and Liverpool say Salah and explode in that game, which those two players I don't have, I might rethink of restructure my team back. I don't have TA. I have Jota, which Jota is not secure in terms of minutes. And then that could open up because Liverpool fixture are still decent moving forward. With that 3 role transfer, I could use after game 6. Say if I intend to just swing some players back in. Or I just want to catch up because I'm still not sure on Liverpool. They already keep clean sheet and winning 2 games. But we shall see against Manchester. If Liverpool win that game, they win comfortably. Salah perform another double digit. Myself who do not have Salah, it sounds troubling. So I
Yeah, I
might
think,
need to do.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Those managers who are considering wildcard in game week 3 or maybe game week 4, of those managers who did not have Salah and TA. So like myself and Azmin who have Salah and TA, so they're trying to be more or less like our team since game week 1. So we can hold on to that wildcard chip. And those who don't have TA and Salah might consider wildcard as early as they can, because fixture wise for Liverpool, game week 4 always is really attractive.
Yeah, great stuff. That's our plan. So it's time for us to wrap up. All right, everyone. Anyone else you want to see? You want to sleep, right? So we also want to sleep. 12:13 a.m. In Malaysian time. So last word, Min, last word.
For those of you who didn't jump the transfer because of the price drop for players like Nkunku, you might as well just hang on now and wait until after the midweek matches are over, including European, whether it's the Carabao Cup, and also the transfer window, which ends on Friday. which is tomorrow. So well, now it's tomorrow. So yeah, so you have time for your transfers. See, okay.
All
So
right.
wait,
Hafiz, your last word.
hold on.
Yeah, I think enjoy the game. It was pick your lineup and your transfer wisely. Try to look at those very last minute deadlines. So yeah, enjoy game week 3.
All right. Thank you guys for all the questions. Thank you guys for all the one that tune in to our stream until now. I think there's some people still watching. Do hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi YouTube channel and support us. If you want to join our league code is here PHMKJ3 and join our community. I think we're gonna review some of the things on top of our FPL Jedi League. Hopefully in a dayline stream. We shall see. Until then, stay safe, stay focused, and don't panic yet. There is still some fixture coming in Game Week 3, the international break. May the force be with you. Until then, take care and see you again. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Take care, guys.